I am amateur YouTube mode. At the moment, I have my light sitting on a chair and my phone camera sort of propped up in a mic stand because I can't find anything at the moment. Everything's just fucking in shambles, cleaning up some stuff. And anyway, I really wanted to make this video. Who else's inbox feels like a breakfast morning show sales page with just fucking emails of 40% off, 20% off, look at this new plugin, look at this new plugin, look at this new plugin. It's overwhelming. It really is. And it just kills me. And what happens is I rarely buy new plugins. More so to the point that everybody just seems to be doing the same thing, putting things out that, don't really interest me. But I'm always looking. And today I'm going to talk to you about two new plugins I've bought this year in 2021, which have changed the game. They really have done something different for me. They've entered my workflow, and I feel like it's worth telling you about them because I'm really impressed by what's going on there. All right. The first one is Dined One by Leapwing Audio, and this is just an incredible plugin designed by Robin Rumors and the other two guys who operate Leapwing Audio, and it is a parallel multi-band dynamics processor. So basically it's a parallel compressor, a multi-band compressor that you can blend in parallel. But what made me super interested in it was the fact that you can blend in parallel each individual band independent of one another. So it's not like you compress a signal with multiband compression and then just blend that whole signal back in. You can actually blend in each of the channels independently of one another, and I thought that's a really interesting take. I wasn't sold on it straight away because what ended up happening is I ended up trialing it for 2 months, and then at the end of that 2-month trial I was like, yes, I'm going to get this. I'm going to spend the $200, get this in my workflow because it works really well. What I'm finding it is in two main scenarios. The first one is where there's just background detail. There's small detail in either the upper mids or the lower mids, and I want to bring it out in a master, and EQ or compression is going to be a little bit too destructive to the material. I can compress it with this multi-band compressor and just bring that blend of that band slightly higher than the other ones just to bring out some of that detail. That's worked really well. It's also been a good game saver when I'm mixing vocals, and the vocal consistency is a bit all over the place. That helps there as well. But yeah, just a great plugin. I found this, actually not in my emails though, I found it through one of Bob Katz's recommendation. And pretty much anytime Bob, if you know who Bob is, he wrote the book Mastering Audio. Anytime he recommends something, I'm usually pretty much on it to have a little bit more of a deeper look into it. Doesn't mean I'm always sold just because he says that something's good, but I like to know, what other professionals are using, and that's one of the points I actually research. What's Bob using? What's he recommended? What does he, what's going on in that world? And then I'll do my own research. Again, I trialed this for 2 months before I purchased it because I really wanted to make sure it was a good decision. It is for me. I recommend that other people take a look at it because there's not much on the market that does what this plugin does. And what was I about to say? That's right. The documentation. If you don't even want to trial it and install it, download the user manual. They've done such a great job of documenting how the technology works and how it is all pieced together. The second one is we've all got that friend who loves a particular plugin and they keep telling you, mate, you gotta get this, you gotta get this, you gotta get this. And that friend of mine is Will Borza over at Harry Weinberg Mastering. We jump on calls every fortnight, and he has been telling me for probably 18 months now about, or maybe not 18 months, probably 12 to 18 months about black box analog design, especially when Plugin Alliance came out with the digital version, the plugin version. He's like, this digital version rocks, it is so good. He reckons it stands up to the analog unit, and he's kept bothering me about it. And to be honest, this wasn't a plugin I did much research into or wanted to understand. Just happened, Plugin Alliance had a really good sale where I think it was like $29 or $39 for this plugin. So I just got it, and I'm like, yep, I'll satisfy Will, and that way he will stop telling me about it, and I'm going to try it out. And I tried it out. Now, it is a flavor maker. It is a sort of a taste and tone sort of thing that isn't going to show itself on every session, but I still think it is a very well crafted, and I wanted to really understand what was under the hood. The documentation was good that Plugin Alliance gave, but I really wanted to understand a bit more. I pulled it into Plugin Doctor, which is a plugin where you can assess how a plugin interacts with the signal flow, whether it's the linear response of it, the harmonic response of it, how it works under compression, and I put that in. to understand what's going on, and you could see physically that the mid-range just gets a little bit of a bump. But when I was actually using it in session, it does it in a way that's a bit more lush. It doesn't feel so aggressive or digitally imposed. It actually feels like a lush mid-range that you can pull out of this unit, which is really nice, especially if you want to keep things in the box and you don't really want to go out and use the analog yet, or you don't have a need to. It's a good unit to have. Now, what I found was, though, that character that it imparts can be quite strong at times. So, again, Plugin Alliance always have tricks up their sleeve. In the top right-hand corner of the plugin, you can actually blend in a mix. So you can blend it in parallel with the dry signal, so you're not getting too much of that flavor in the mix. Anyway, guys, those are 2 plugins, I just thought I'd tell you the story about how I came to it. I do recommend, having at least a look into them, understanding them, and if you've learned anything from this, it's that when, professional mastering engineers or myself go to try something, go to buy something, we don't just put our money down and take it. We sort of, at least I'm a little bit speculative. I'll look at the documentation, I'll download a trial, I'll try it on different resources, I'll try, not open up the plugin behind the hood, but I'll get it into something like Plugin Doctor where I can see what it's doing and understand how it interacts with different signals and different signal flow. That way I can make an accurate decision on as to, is this going to be something that I'm always using? And these 2 plugins, Leapwing Dyne 1 and Blackbox, do it for me.